am Olu Adetutu, and today I want to share a little bit about my journey from despair to fulfillment. My dad, a Nigerian, always told us that if you die and you make it to heaven, and you have never visited America, God will send you back. So, so I always knew I was going to come to the United States for college. At the age of 17, I packed up and I was here for college. After a couple of degrees, got married, had kids, I got the corporate job. I was working in a Fortune 500 company. I had 3 young children, and the problem was I hated my job. It paid well. It had all the bells and whistles, but I hated my job. I was babysitting computers. And it was so boring, it was sucking the life out of me. And one day at work, I was walking back to my desk, and my body gave out. I was trying to catch my next breath, and I could not breathe again. I ended up in the hospital. And in the hospital room, after all the things they did, I was told I had a pulmonary embolism and that I was so fortunate to be alive. Well, I thought that was the end of the day. I was alone in the room, and then I felt this sudden presence. It was as if there were these thick blankets, lead blankets, completely suffocating me. It was dark in there. And I was thinking to myself, I've watched enough movies. This is not happening to me. Was I given some medication? But no. I was wide awake. I then saw myself on the top, on the right-hand corner of the room, watching my own self on the bed. The next thing I felt, was this light shoot out of me. And I found myself on top of a mountain. And on top of the mountain, I had the superwoman pose. I was free, I was radiant, I was light, and I was beaming. And on top of that mountain, as I looked down on each side, I saw people moving around. And what I learned in that moment was that those blankets that were holding me down, that were suffocating me, were the job that I was doing that did not allow me to have time for myself, for my family, for other things. But also equally important, I had this restlessness that I never addressed. I knew I wasn't supposed to be working that job. I know that some of you listening to me, you're in situations, you know the situation, but we're not addressing it. It's easier to climb under those blankets and pretend those issues don't exist. I had issues in my family, with my relationship, and I wasn't addressing it because I focused on work. Now, there was one day, a whole bunch of circles happened. I quit my job, and I wanted to really focus on what I really wanted to do. And I started taking courses, life coaching courses, personal development, all those normal things that we all do when we Google, fix my life. And I got certified as a coach and things like that. I want to tell you that everything turned to magic because of that vision of my brighter self, but it didn't happen that way. Transformation does not happen that way. Oftentimes things happen and we can't find the gift or the lesson in it. And a few years after, I was sharing this experience with people of you being succumbed, suffocated with things you're not addressing, and the greater vision, the divine vision of who you could possibly be, who God really wants you to be. Those unanswered questions, those things that you are hiding and pretending does not exist, under those warm sheets that you are getting yourself into. And I remember a really dark space in between this transformation journey. My son, my first son, died suddenly. I had decided that my relationship needed to end. I relocated, and I had given up on my home. A lot of things were happening. And like most people, when things are happening, you want a little nurturing. I called my mom. And I was like, Mommy, I am feeling really, really down. I don't know how to move forward. I feel like I've lost everything, and I'm starting from ground zero. And my mother said something that is very profound, a wise woman. Olu. I said, Ma. Olu, Ma. Olu, Ma. It's a good, it's a Yoruba thing. 3 times call your name, so you're listening. She said, you're not starting from ground zero. You are starting from experience. Everything you have gone through is for a purpose. It is to help somebody else. All lizards lay on the floor. You don't know which one has a tummy ache. The irony is I had a tummy ache. I just wasn't letting people know that. And this is something that's really common for high-achieving women. We go around, we want people to think everything is perfect for us. And we don't have anywhere to go where we can be ourselves. We can express ourselves. We can tell somebody that something is happening in our lives and that we need help. And that's why I created Illumination Enterprises. It's a personal development company. It is my mission and my passion to be that safe space for driven women, women who have a vision, so that you can see that there is this higher version of yourself and that it is your obligation to be able to see yourself and keep working towards it. Life will happen, adversity will happen, things will happen, but you can't give up on that vision. When I look at where I was under those blankets, and then I look at this person that was on top of that mountain, it wasn't just about me. It was about the people that my light was touching, and I was helping them to also move. We all have that obligation in our lives, and we can accomplish